Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. Stay with me here as I try to speak very carefully about a topic many of us are interested in. There is a website that is known for some of their sales. It starts with the letter E, and it has been receiving a lot of notice the last few days as people discovered that there were some downloads that were supposedly about pizza that were quite expensive. I confirmed that myself. I saw one picture that showed for $4,000, there could be an instant download of lots of images. But wait, is there more? There has also been some people uncovering some extremely expensive pizza-related images. And there is a little bit of chatter that this site may have been doing more than just simply letting vendors in who were not being upfront with the parent company about what they were offering for sale. Let's go to a compilation I've got real quick, and we'll look at some of the items I looked at that confirmed curiosity and that may be of value to you if you choose to do the same. And a big thank you. I had numerous of my viewers emailed me and asked me to read on this subject. So I'm not going to give any particular one credit, but thank you for being on top of things, folks, because when it comes to the safety of little ones, we all have to do our part to say they deserve to be safe, treasured, loved, and nurtured, not exploited, used, and harmed in any way. Okay, here's the compilation, and there'll be a link to it in the video description box. This first image is what people were maybe thinking that there might actually be more for sale here on Etsy than just simply some images that shouldn't be. Now, I looked at this particular vendor, and it does seem to me that what she's selling are just creepy dolls. Look like that. There wasn't unusual shipping information, prices, or anything like that that kind of would carry out the suspicion that is there more going on here. Doesn't mean there's not. It's just that we know that we have to use our discernment in all cases here. However, there is a nice MJ Truth Rumble video about this topic and some of the ads. Some of them have been pulled. Some of them aren't there. Some of them still are. That's what I thought was kind of interesting. This ad here, when I did my video, is still up. So it is still there, absolutely. Here are a couple of X or Twitter tweets about this. Now, a few days ago, the first one I became aware of was the image sales here. And this has now been taken down, but it was genuinely instant download, $4,000 with pizza. And then she's got that little wink like conspiratorial there. And just a little, and then this one was also up. It's no longer there, but it has speculated a lot of interest that is quite valuable, I think, because we have to be aware that we're still in a world where horrible things can happen, and we don't need to sit by complacently and not get involved. I would rather be concerned and be called some kind of a theorist than to just go, oh, there's probably nothing to it. And then the mainstream media is coming forth just like they did a few years ago, defending the situation and saying that much ado has been made about nothing in particular. Media Matters is defending the situation. All those kind of set my red flags going. So I thought, here's what I'd like to do. Let's ask the tarot cards to inform and advise us about the situation at that retailer. The top row, we're going to do a comparison read. Was it image sales only that were being done? Bottom row, was there more? Was there actual physical little one sales that were being set up, facilitated, advertised, etc.? That'll be the second row. And let's see what the universe wants us to know. Okay. And if there's nothing to it, and as the mainstream is insisting we're making much ado about nothing, we'll find that out too. 1 second, I'm going to let you watch me work with the cards, set out that display of 2 rows, comparison, and then we'll see what the universe wants us to know. 1 second. Okay, this will be a comparison read, 10 cards, possibly 1 bonus card for each row. So the universe knows how I'm going to be doing this and set the cards up accordingly. Our top row is going to be about information and insights about these instant downloads that were being offered for such huge prices for pizza images. And then the bottom row is going to be for concerns that there are advertisers on that site who are facilitating and setting up actual retail transactions of a very concerning nature. Let's see what the universe wants us to know. Okay, top row's images. We have the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups. We have the Six of Wands, Nine of Wands, and Ace of Wands. So we got a hard yes that images were being sold that were disturbing, that were of little ones. At a minimum, we'll see what else we have. Bottom row, which is about actually setting up and facilitating some physical transactions. We have the Eight of Swords, Two of Cups, the Star, the World, and the Five of Pentacles. I think this is already a very interesting read, and I'll share with you why. First of all, we already know with the images that yes, there were disturbing images that were being offered on download by some of the vendors on Etsy. Okay, now the Knight of Cups for the situation, our basic question we were asking about insights and information about the situation. Knight of Cups can be very tricky, and he can be false. So the advertising was deliberately false so they could put a surprise, what people actually knew they were buying, into those downloads. Okay, now our middle card is always about hidden influences. And hidden influences here, we have a victory card. So influencing the situation has been the presence, the awareness of good people who are calling this out. And even though they're getting called names in the process, who said, no, that can't be what it is. It has to be this. And indeed it was. Okay. Now the advice is stay the course, guys. This is a determination card. Keep calling it out for what it was. We maybe can't stop people from wanting that product if they are so evilly inclined, but we can darn sure make it hard for them to find it off the anywhere but on the dark web. So, and then the Ace of Wands is the potential outcome, is a success card here, absolutely. And so we've got a yes that it was, and we're going to be successful in stopping some of that, the sales and procurement of images. Now we said, is there more? Because there's been concern with those $35,000 overalls and $50,000 dolls or crumbs or what have you, that they're actually setting up some transactions. And then that some of the shipping of those items were available at port. You pick up, you know, they'll be in a container. Disturbing shipping practices on some of those. We said, is there more that was being set up by some of those sellers on that website? And yeah, they were hoping that people would turn a blind eye to it, and they're looking for people to agree to these transactions and move forward with them. Absolutely. So some of those items that people are saying this is disturbing, that can't be what they're selling, that's true. Now some of them are people just have an exorbitant price on something they consider art. That's a whole different topic entirely. But yes, some of those high-priced, questionable sales, it's good that we're putting a focus on. Hidden influences, Star. We have the universe shining brightly on putting a stop to this, making sure this stops being part of our reality. Absolutely. So we have some divine intervention and influence here. Plus the 17th card is often indicative of the very highest and best parts of our White Hat Alliance. So absolutely. Lines stepping in and saying, no, oh, this has to stop. Now, here's our advice worldwide. This is a success card. Wreaths on tarot cards are success. This is saying we're going to be successful in shutting down a lot of that access. Okay, especially when it tries to leave, like I said, the dark web and come into the mainstream. We're going to be, our diligence is going to pay off greatly. Okay, now the potential outcome, they being people trying to sell and convey merchandise that should not be sold or conveyed, they're going to find themselves out in the cold as a result of their choices. Yeah, we're doing some busting here, guys. Some busting of images and actual even transaction setups that are being disrupted and disturbed, and stay the course. It's worth it. If even one little one doesn't get exploited, much less or exported, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. So let's recap. We did a comparison read to see if some of those disturbing advertisements on that retail website that starts with an E involve simply, simply is probably not a great word to use, but the downloading of images that were being offered. We said, are they nefarious in nature, insights, information? We got a really hard yes that was at least for sure what was going on. Was some image sales by some of those vendors. That's why they had the $4,000 pizza images. And unfortunately, they apparently had a market because people had it in their carts. Then we did another line of comparison read, and we said, well, are they setting up actual physical transactions of merchandise that should not be bought, sold, traded, or anything but cherished and nurtured? And didn't get as much of a hard yes, but we definitely got a yes on it, that they were hoping people would turn a blind eye to that. And they were looking for people willing to enter into transactions, and indicative of some of those transactions were ones that had some really complicated shipping practices and policies you'd be following before you take possession of whatever you purchased. The White Hats Alliance and good people everywhere that are taking notice of this and calling it out. We were told to stay the course because it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. This was the line for the little ones. This was a stay the course, stay determined on calling out the image sales, the downloads, because little ones have been harmed to make those. Okay, the actual moving of that type of market onto the mainstream, like with these big retailers, those days are coming to an end, and they're going to, until we make a big shift, and it's not even something anybody wants or anybody's interested in, they're finding difficulty in accessing previous markets that they were able to, and good for us. Good for us. Hopefully the market dries up, supply and demand. If there's no demand, they don't need to worry about a supply. And as I said, every human life is special and precious, and every little one deserves to be welcomed and nurtured and enjoyed, and not modified against their will or used against their will or harmed in any way, but just simply cherished, nurtured, loved. And that's what we want for all our little ones across this planet. So if they call you names for talking about things like this, they're either in denial, participating, or just have chosen not to wake up. But stay the course, guys. If saying, hey, there's a market for this, whether you want to believe it or not, causes you to be criticized in any way, it's worth it. So we want them all in homes that are loving and nurturing and safe and healthy. And we don't want that kind of exploitation to be facilitated in any way. So good work, Anons, that called this out. Keep calling it out. And let's, if we can't stop the demand prior to any big shift, we can at least make the supply a lot harder to happen. So love your little ones, take good care of them, keep an eye on them. And if you see something, say something. If we stop even one little one from being exploited or used, or one transaction from happening. Good for us. Until next time, that's it from Laura's View and Tarot 2. I thank you so much for your time and attention, and I wish you love and light and everything bright. Bye.